of central banking elective. Okay, and we are discussing probable questions here. We are discussing in the full series now. We'll be discussing all the probable questions for central banking. Because why? Questions are important. What's the use of just studying without knowing the questions? Okay, so we'll cover all the important questions. Okay, so let's start. The total reserves of a banking system constitutes, so a cash in hand with banks plus deposits, excess reserves, required reserves. So B plus C, excess reserves plus required reserves. So what do you think should be the answer over here? See, this is one of the important questions from a exam also. Okay, so what does it include? It includes total reserves. Okay, so cash in hand plus with banks plus deposits, is this the total reserves in the banking system, or is it excess reserves? Is it required reserves? And is it D, means B plus C, excess plus required reserves? What do you say? See this, excess reserves, when we say, it will include everything. So the total reserves of a banking system will always include what? What do you say? Is it B, C or D? It will include D, B plus C, both. Okay, excess reserves plus required reserves. Both will be included in the banking system for the reserve to calculate the total reserves in the banking system. Okay. Under inflation targeting framework, the following institution in India determines the inflation target. So who determines the inflation target? Okay, government, the central bank, means RBI. Will write it over here. Okay, RBI. Central bank in consultation with government. Financial Stability Forum. So who decides? Who decides? Is it Financial Stability Forum? Is there anything called as Financial Stability Forum? There is something called as FSDC. Okay, Financial Stability Development Corporation. There is a separate corporation, but that is not forum. That's a separate corporation given, development corporation for stability. But that has nothing to do with this inflation target. Okay, means it has to do indirectly, but directly it does nothing. It doesn't decide at all. Okay, so D is out. So either it can be government or RBI or central government with central bank in consultation with the RBI, with the government. So what can be the answer? Obviously, see here, the question seems to be simple, isn't it? Mainly it's RBI always, okay, central bank. But it says always in consultation with government. Means what? Here, government will always have the fiscal policy. Government and RBI. Always remember the difference. Government will always have the fiscal policy, fiscal, okay, and RBI will always have the monetary policy. So RBI will always consult government. Okay, it will always consult government. So monetary policy will always be supportive to fiscal. So inflation targeting is the prime job of monetary policy, but it should always support and consult with the government. So the answer is C over here. Okay. Central banks can best pursue their set goals under the following conditions of, means best pursue their set goals. Means what? Whatever goals they decide. Generally the central bank decides on inflation. Its main target is inflation control and forex reserves. So under the following conditions of full independence and operational independence, financial independence and operational independence, policy independence, both A and B, and government surveillance. So what do you think? This central banks or RBI over here in India should get the financial independence and operational independence as well as policy independence, means both A and B. Do you feel it should have all of these? So what can be the answer? Yeah? What can be the answer? What do you say? Quite logical, isn't it? Answer is C, both A and B. Why? See here, financial independence and operational independence, both are important. Independence means what? Independence means, just now I told you, it should be supportive to the government. RBI's policy must support the government. But that doesn't mean it's not independent. It can decide on its own for whatever it wants, subject to. It is not against the common will of the common public. If any of the RBI's policies are going against the common public, government will interfere over there. So financial independence is there, operational independence is there, and policy independence is also there. Okay, so all these things should be there. Policy means what? The short-term policy which the RBI decides. Okay, every bi-monthly we have this policy of RBI, right? So monetary policy, so that should be independent. Government shouldn't interfere in that, and it never interferes. Yeah, but government can give directions. See, after all, it's a government. It can give directions, but it can't interfere. Okay. Before going ahead, download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, everything. Okay, whatever is required for clearing CAIIB, you will get it over here. So immediately downloaded this, because why? Exams are what, just 1.5 months now, isn't it? Yeah. A number of studies have been carried out to evaluate the economic implications of the central bank's independence. These studies typically estimate the economic effects of first deriving quantitative measures of a relative independence of central banks, and then estimating how these measures are correlated with the following variables. So average inflation, inflation variability, real economic performance, interest rate variations, and both A and B. Means what? What is the actual question over here? The question over here means here various studies have been done. That's all bullshit. Okay, this part you don't have to study. You don't have to look at it. Okay, these studies typically estimate the economic effects of first deriving quantitative measures. See this, deriving quantitative measures. This is something first. Okay, of a relative independence of central banks, and then estimating how these measures are correlated with the following variables. So independence of central banks, that is important. How central banks' independence is related to these following. So how is it related? See this, average inflation, it's average inflation, inflation variability. So average inflation and inflation variability. Okay, real economic performance. Okay, and interest rate variations. So central banks separateness or independence will always affect this inflation, then variability, movement of inflation, and real economic performance, means GDP you can call it. See here, simplest term to measure real economic performance is GDP. So if RBI is independent, it will definitely affect the policy decisions, and that will definitely affect the real economic performance and GDP. Means how? If RBI tomorrow increases the interest rates, the GDP will go down. Always remember, if GDP wants means if the interest rates go up of RBI, GDP will go down. It's always vice versa, reverse. Okay, if interest rate goes down, GDP goes up. But along with it, inflation also is hampered. So if interest rate goes up, inflation goes down. Always remember. So RBI's main job is to control inflation. This is the main job of RBI. Okay. So how will it be affected? Independence of RBI will affect what? It's D, A and B. Average inflation, inflation variability, and real economic performance. Okay. Around Second World War, most of the central banks emerged as follows: subordinate to their governments, independent of political control, private entities, institutions of policy independence. So what is the correct answer? Think now, think. Around Second World War, these all banks, central banks, arrived as what? They emerged as what? What did I say just now? Government is having a fiscal policy and RBI is having a monetary policy. Okay, I'll write it again. See this. Government will always have fiscal policy. Fiscal. Okay, this is for the betterment of the common public. Okay, and RBI will always have the monetary policy. Monetary. Okay, always remember, RBI's policy should be supportive to government. Support. RBI doesn't have its individual existence. RBI will never have its individual existence. RBI should always support the government. So it should be subordinate to the governments, right? Most of the central banks emerged as subordinate to the government. They are supportive role. They have a supportive role, and this supportive role is for the government to take actions for the betterment of the common public. Okay. Central bank's accountability implies holding central bank responsible for. So how is this accountability judged of any central bank? So holding central banks responsible for means central banks are responsible for what? Monetary policy actions, maintaining good fiscal relationship, reducing volatility in exchange rates, implementing KYC norms. So central bank is responsible for what? Yeah, it is. How does a common person judge central bank? Means if suppose if you ask anyone, how is RBI doing? So how will he judge? Will he say KYC norms are good? He has nothing to do with common KYC norms. So common man has nothing to do with KYC norms. Reducing volatility in exchange rates. So exchange rate, forex rates. Common man, what has he to do? He or she has to do with the exchange rates? Nothing. Maintaining good fiscal relationship. Does any common person interfere between the relationships of RBI and central government? Does anyone interfere? Have you seen any common person? No, RBI governor is not acting properly as per the government's policy. Does any common person say that? Many of the common person doesn't even know who is the RBI governor many a times, isn't it? So the correct answer is this. Maintain monetary policy actions. If the inflation rises, common person will say that central bank is not performing well. Worst central bank, they'll say. So every common person judges central banks on policy decisions, policy actions, means inflation mainly. Okay. Now before going ahead, subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting all the updates for JIB and CIB, number 1. And number 2, you will get free YouTube series. Right now what are you watching? You are watching the free YouTube series. Where are you watching? Check the channel in which you are watching. Just check it below. Just check it. Right now you check it. It is on Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. So subscribe to this channel. You are getting many elements as free over here. All the subjects you are getting free YouTube series. So watch this immediately. Subscribe to it. Click on the bell icon. Like this video. Everyone like it, isn't it? Move on. The Standards Issuing Authority for Code of Good Practices in Fiscal Transparency is Fiscal Transparency. Fiscal Transparency means what? Here, this is a part of governance. Transparency means governance. So fiscal transparency means the central bank should be transparent in its functioning. Okay. So how it should be transparent? For transparency, it should have a code of good practices or code of good conduct. So that conduct is given by whom? That code is given by whom? That is a real question. So who gives this code? This code is given by who? World Bank or BIS, Bureau of International Standards, IMF, International Monetary Fund, or OECD. OECD is totally different part. OECD has nothing to do with any transparency part. Okay, for the banks. Of course, transparency is important in their own thing also. Okay, but for the other banks, other financial institutions, they are not concerned with this. So now, who gives this code of good conduct? World Bank. World Bank doesn't deal with all these transparency parts. This is dealt with by IMF. Okay, IMF, International Monetary Fund. It always gives you the code of good practices and all. Anything related to banking system, any new rules which are to be implemented, those are always given by IMF. Okay, World Bank is just a lending institution, lending for various projects. It's just a lending institution. Bureau of International Standards, so it gives you the bureaus, means standards. MKS, CGS, those systems you remember in your schoolings. CI, right? System SI, System International, all these. So this is all given by BIS. Okay. So who gives this code of good practices? It is given by IMF. Clear? Simple. Move on. Credibility of central bank refers to central bank's ability to manage public debt, to regulate money markets, to monitor policy perceptions of the public, in establishing the track record of maintaining price stability or lower level of inflation. What did I say? Central bank's main job is what? Who can give me the answer now? Yeah? Central bank's main job is what? Inflation, price stability. Look at this. RBI will not look at if it has to take some bitter decisions or tough decisions. Policy perceptions of the public. Common public never understands any policy of RBI. Okay? Nor that common public is concerned. So this is out. Okay? Regulate money markets. So credibility of central bank, regulation of money market is a job of RBI. Managing the public debt, that is the job of RBI. Okay, but it is not just based on this. It is just based on this. Maintaining the price stability. If the prices rise, then definitely it's a problem. Common public and its credibility of central bank is at stake over here. Or low level of inflation. As the inflation increases, common man will say central bank is not functioning properly, and the credibility of the central bank RBI is gone. Okay. In case of separate debt management unit, the central bank would be in a unique position to give advice to the former on size of the issue, timing of the issues, size and timing of the issue, inflationary impact of the debt. What is this debt management unit? See, a debt management unit means when your government wants the debt. Okay? Means government wants the debt means what? Suppose if government wants to build some roads, so how will it get the funds? RBI is a banker to the government. See here, RBI is always a banker to the government. Okay, what does it mean? If government requires some funds, it will get the funds through RBI. RBI will issue the bonds. These bonds will be taken by some institutions or common public, and they will fund the government. Okay. So what does RBI advise the government on? Suppose if government tomorrow says that, okay, I want to build all the concrete roads throughout India. So I need money. So RBI will advise them about what? Size of the issue. How much money will you be needing? Timing of the issue. When should you issue these bonds? Here, this is also very important. If the timing of the issue is wrong, what happens? The whole issue gets flopped. Nobody buys those bonds. If nobody buys those bonds, then government won't receive the funds. If government doesn't receive the funds, there won't be any construction, there won't be any development. So RBI has to advise the government about size of the issue as well as timing of the issue. So the answer is C, both. Inflationary impact of the debt is not the part of debt management unit. That's a part of another unit who controls the inflation part. Okay. So that's why C is the answer. Now let me tell you about the selection batch. See, the selection batch has recently started. ABFM, BRBL are just beginning. BFM has just started. So you can get the recorded videos. Huge discounts are available. This Mahapack you are getting now, double validity is not there, but Mahapack is available. What is a Mahapack? 15 plus batches per subject. Okay. Per subject means what? If I am having, let me show you this. Okay, let's go to Adda 24/7. There you'll be able to see this. Look at this. See this. Now we are on Adda 24/7. Okay. Here click on JIB and CIB. See this, JIB and CIB. You'll see this CIB 23. Click on CIB 23. Clicked. Now you will see the details, all the batches. See the selection batch. Click on the selection batch. You will get all the details, date, timing. See here the subjects, right? ABFM, BRBL. Then study plan. You'll be getting it over here. Importantly, recorded videos are available. It means what? If you miss out on any class, you can get the recorded videos for the same. Okay, so that's a good thing, isn't it? Important part is ebooks are available. 2-way interactive classes. You can ask the questions there and then itself. Ebooks are available. Tests are available. Let's look at the fees part. 5,999.75. Okay. Click click on more offers, put the code Y432, click on apply. Okay, so 23,999 reduces to 5519. Such a huge discount you are getting, 77% off you are getting. Go for it. In fact, you can go for Mahapacks. In Mahapacks, you are getting 15 plus batches. Let me show you Mahapack. Okay, go to Adda 24/7 again, front page, JIB and CAIIB. Okay, so click on JIB and CAIIB again. If you are having the app, go through the app, I would suggest. Okay, click on JIB CAIIB Mahapack now. Click on CAIIB ka Mahapack. CAIIB ka Mahapack. Okay, in CAIIB ka Mahapack, you will see the details. 15 plus batches for these 4 subjects. Then ebooks are available, tests are available, full length mock tests are available. Okay, look at the fees, 34,999. Click on this buy now. Now apply the code Y432. Now look at the magic. Okay, look at the fees. 34,999 reduces to 8049. This is for Mahapack. Okay, validity 12 months. My God, 12 months validity, very good thing, yeah. Because and in Mahapack you will get the electives videos also. Recorded videos of electives are also available. So go for Mahapack. I would always suggest you, because you have almost 1.5 months now. You can go for Mahapack. You can have 15 batches studies. So you learn, even if you attend a batch even singly, then also you'll have a 15 times revision. Go for it. I would suggest go for the Mahapack immediately. Okay.